Today, JiuJitsuMania has the privilege of hanging out with Shawn Williams, Team Renzo Gracie here in Los Angeles, California. And Shawn, you just worked for 4 hard days doing the commentary for Budo Videos for the Gi Mundials 2012. And I got to tell you, they were some of the most exciting tournament matches I've ever seen. And we've both seen a few, but Buchecha, I tell you what, that's the stuff legends are made of, as well as dozens of other top matches.
Yeah, I can't even. It was such an incredible weekend. You know, the whole process of what it has become. Not only with the professionalism of the tournament, but just like the competitors, the energy of the crowd. It was out of control. You know, some of the superstars, Rodolfo Vieira, Buchecha, like, those two had one of the best matches in history for sure. But then that doesn't even take away the credit of everybody else who was out there sweating, bleeding. Like, it was amazing. The absolute final match was unbelievable. Came down to the last like 10 seconds, literally. And Buchecha stole the show again. He sort of stole the show with Rodolfo. But I said before the tournament that I thought that he's capable of winning anyway. He's just been a guy that's been on the rise for the last couple of years, and a new black belt. And same with Rodolfo. Been on a relatively new black belt, and just been cleaning house. But wonderful performances by like literally everybody. I think that the tournament, the cool thing was it was like the last second tournament. Like all of these matches were determined in the last 30 seconds. Like almost every final match went down to the last 30 seconds, which made it crazy. Like even though there was 50-50 that nothing happened for like 6 minutes, all of a sudden you have this last 30 seconds that is just chaotic, and it was amazing. It was an incredible place to be. I'm so happy to be a part of it, and you know, it's been a huge part of my life, jiu-jitsu itself, and it's a really amazing ordeal this weekend.
Well, Shawn, you and I have started to talk a little bit more, and one of the things we've kind of touched on is the lifestyle, the martial arts, the warrior mentality, Bushido, whatever you want to call it, samurai. I mean, there's so many different ways to get the concept across about living by a code, an honorable code that translates both on and off the mat, or in and out of the cage or arena, or whatever your venue is. And particularly with young athletes and even adults, the sport is just exploding, and it's almost growing faster in some ways than the culture that supports it is. If you could touch on that a little bit, because I know you're pretty passionate about this.
Yeah, I've done traditional martial arts since 13 years old, so which is a long time, by the way. But you know, the thing is, we get wrapped up in talking about the kids' development, right? Which they are the most important people coming up in the martial arts, because they are the future. And I think, you know, in the martial arts, it does a pretty good job of culturing the kids, and I think jiu-jitsu should follow that, and I think it is. I think people are understanding, like, hey, we have to follow this code of martial arts, and we have to get these kids taught that it is about respect and discipline and hard work and being committed to your life. Not only just martial arts, but being committed to your life, because martial arts lifestyle is much more than punching, kicking, grappling. It goes outside of that too, and it should bleed over into your whole entire life. So us as adults, you know, we should go to work 10 minutes early. We should give 100% at work. We should, you know, it portrays in everything you do in life, not just on the mats. So it's very important to culture our kids like that, right? And I think we're learning as teachers and as a new discipline, even though we're not new, it's a new discipline. And like you said, the growth has exploded, and there are schools opening up everywhere. I'm very passionate about making sure that we here at 5 Star live by that code. You know, so dealing with the kids, they are the future, but I think one of our real downfalls as martial artists and as the sport grows is we forget about the adults. And we just let adults come in, work out, grapple, and go home. And they're learning how to do this really cool sport, but they're not learning the martial arts side. And that's something that I'm very passionate about, especially right now with the growth of my school. and all these other schools popping up. There does, in my opinion, there does need to be something more to it than just, hey, I want to come in and get a sweat. Now that's fine. If people are balanced in their lives and they want to come in and get a sweat, that's awesome. It's amazing. I think it's one of the best ways to do it. But if we can plant those seeds to live with more respect, to live with more discipline, to live with more confidence in what you do and in everything you do, that's just another benefit of training jiu-jitsu that goes outside the realm of the sport. I think we're very fortunate that our sport has the champions that we have. I mean, you look at guys like Buchecha and Rodolfo and Homolo. Those guys they lead by example. So they are good sportsmen. They are everything they do. Like you look at Cyborg, he's a champion. He's so happy all the time. Like, you know, these guys are at the top for a reason. They're balanced lives. They lead by example. So we're fortunate, but not every person in our sport is like that. And so, in my opinion, we have to look at the higher set of values, you know, and live with that code. And I think us as your teachers out there, us as teachers and even guys that are white, blue, purple, brown, black, like, we need to up the ante. Look at the IBJJF, they're wearing suits now. You know, I was commentating, I heard on some of the chats, like, some of our comments on the chats were, oh, these suits are ridiculous. Like, no, they're not. That was awesome. That was a step in the right direction.
Absolutely.
The professionalism is very important, and we need to up the ante in our sport, and we need to make it a martial art. You know, I watch a lot of footage, and I've been around martial arts a lot for a long time, and all the traditional martial artists, when they achieve that level, it is just all about honor and discipline and respect, and it's something that I feel is very important and can be lost in a sport if we're not careful.
Right.
So I challenge everyone out there to not only look at that jiu-jitsu as a sport, but also a martial art, and challenge you guys to up the ante, so to speak.
Well, Shawn, thank you very much for sharing those words of wisdom, words that we agree with very much at JiuJitsuMania. It is about a lifestyle. It's about a lifestyle of honor and integrity, and that translates across on and off the mat. And that's one of the things that we can all aspire to, and we appreciate having one of the big names of the sport, a guy like yourself, echo that and be so passionate about your belief and your commitment to making that development happen.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you for JiuJitsuMania.com coming to see 5-Star Martial Arts and hearing me.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, Shawn. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Tom.